And we're back. You're listening to the Carolina Independent News Report with Matt Burton. I'm your host, Matt Burton. I'm here with Republican candidate Allison Love for the York County Council District 2 seat. Allison, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you, Matt.
We were talking growth in York County. Obviously, it's one of the top priorities in York County right now, especially with the District 2 seat, which a lot of voters are asking about. Let's move on to a little bit about the next question that everyone's asking. Is it time for Lake Wylie to incorporate? What is Allison Love's stance on incorporation in Lake Wylie?
So my opinion is this. This is a vote that the people need to make. This is a choice that the people of Lake Wylie need to make. I'm going to step out a little bit and say that my personal opinion is that I'm going to have to be convinced that it's the right thing to do. I know it's going to be the most costly thing, but is it the right thing to do? And there are a lot of facts that we have not seen yet. We have a committee that's trying to gather facts, but we also have a great example over in Indian land. And when the people who are for incorporation ask us to look at examples, those examples are a long way from here. But the closest example is Indian land, South Carolina, where they're trying to pretty much bully their way into incorporation, and the residents are very opposed to it. So I have a concern that maybe they're ahead of us and maybe they have some of those facts that we don't have. And I'm going to have to be convinced that it's the right thing to do.
If Lake Wylie, I had an interview with Lake Wylie Chamber President, Ms. Susan Bromfield, earlier today. Her thoughts is it's not if it incorporates, it's when it incorporates. You know, when I see it coming, I won't say whether or not I'm supporting it or not. That's neither here nor there, because I'm looking at it from a journalist standpoint. But the main question is Lake Wylie truly ready? Financially, are we ready with the infrastructure? Because if you remember back when Chief Bill Johnston of the Bethel Fire Department, he then said Bethel would not contract their services out. Because have you talked to the Bethel Fire Department? Do you know if they're going to work with Lake Wylie or if it's still that case? Or is Lake Wylie going to have to go to the drawing board and say we're going to have to do everything ourselves?
I think Bethel Fire Department has some concerns about incorporation. I don't want to speak out of turn for them, so they will have to answer that. You know, I was at the table with the fire chief the night of the meeting, so I think there's some concerns there. So I think that there are a lot of utilities and things that we have now that we would be kind of borrowing from the county at a cost as we move forward with incorporation. I don't think there's a need for incorporation. That's why I say I'm going to have to be convinced of that. I think there's some ulterior motives for incorporation, and if everybody had the same ulterior motive, I think that would be great. But I think there are a lot of different ones, and that concerns me.
Going back to that, with not only will we have to have Lake Wylie, the actual city of Lake Wylie, South Carolina, actually, you know, for years it's been called, we write on postcards, Lake Wylie, South Carolina. You know, obviously our mail still goes to Clover. It's 29710 is, you know, we're Clover right now. Do you think Clover would have a fight in this if Clover wanted to say, well, that's technically ours? Do you think they would have a fight in this at all about trying to claim Lake Wylie?
You know, we're a very diverse district, and we are kind of like two bites of the same piece of pie. So I don't know that Clover is concerned whether or not Lake Wylie incorporates or not. I don't know the answer to that. I don't think that Lake Wylie is one bit concerned about leaving Clover.
Because I guess my question is, do you think before Lake Wylie incorporates, do you think Clover should go to the drawing board, say, hey, you know what, this is ours. Now let's expand our town limits. Do you think they'll do that beforehand, or do you think they'll just be, you know, well done, Lake Wylie?
I think they would just be bye-bye, Lake Wylie. I don't think they would really miss Lake Wylie that much, to be honest. And that's really a shame, you know, because we are so diverse. We kind of have two different viewpoints. And I'm running for council because I feel like the Clover area, and that includes Lake Wylie, is a large district. I feel like we need a large voice. And the problems that Lake Wylie has and some of the reasons for incorporation, I believe, can be solved. And I believe that District 2 will be stronger the bigger we are. And if we lose Lake Wylie, we lose part of that voice.
You know, it's been talked about speculation. And I say speculation, it's not confirmed. A lot of people feel Lake Wylie should have their own representative for the council. Clover should have theirs because of the mass growth within Lake Wylie. Do you think, do you support that, or do you think that's right, or you just think you just need somebody with large enough mouth to go.
You know what, Matt? I've got a large enough mouth, and I would love to be the person who tries to take on all of this for the district. I would love to be the person who can kind of bridge the gap a little between Clover and Lake Wylie, but also speak for that entire district.
Going back, I've known Councilman Bruce Henderson. When I consider him a friend, I respect him. Unfortunately, he hasn't received the respect he deserves on the council, kind of almost to the point of bullying him, not really taking, I won't say not taking him seriously, but not really listening to the needs of Clover and Lake Wylie. How do you think, if he didn't gain the respect, and I say that with all due respect, that he fought as hard as he could, and like I said, with Councilman Henderson, has fought tirelessly for the 3 terms, how are you going to earn the respect from your fellow potential council members?
Matt, that's a great question, and that's the answer that I need to give to let everyone know that I am the correct candidate for this position. Bruce Henderson has done an excellent job. He has put his heart into this, and I respect him. I agree that he has not been given the full respect that he deserves by fellow councilmen. I'm a different candidate than he is, and I am very vocal. I am very much to the point. And I am very, my mom says I've never taken no for an answer. I guess that goes back to about the time I was 3 years old. So that was a really long time ago. And I don't take no for an answer. I am a fighter. Just the determination that I have is just unreal. And I'm admitting to that. And I know my mom's going to hear this, but I'm admitting to that now because it has become an advantage for me. I will not go unheard by the fellow council people. I have a great rapport with every person that's on that council. And I feel like the respect of those people and the fact that they respect me hopefully means that they respect what I say regarding the people who are in my district. So if I get up and I speak on behalf of Lake Wylie and Clover, then the people who are on that council who are not from Lake Wylie and Clover should respect that I have the right answers for the district that I'm representing.
Going back to the halting of the development, they're calling for the halt of residential development. Do you think that by halting residential development will hurt the business sector, like the growth of York County? Financially, with the businesses coming in, because the chamber's concerned about that, obviously because they are for businesses, but overall.
It's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah.
In order to attract restaurants and businesses, you have to have people. And in order to have people, you have to have homes, you have to have apartments, you have to have townhomes, you have to have somewhere that they can live.
What's the solution then?
So the solution is to drop back and punt. I think we need to evaluate the situation, and this is what we've done on the Long Range Planning Committee. We have looked at where do we go from here. The problem is nothing has stopped. So by stopping it and looking at it, it gives us the opportunity to catch up, to correct what needs to be corrected, and to move forward with the right answers, the right approach, with smart answers.
Well, Allison, thank you once again. We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Carolina Independent News Report with Matt Burton.